Hello, one and all. It's my view of My Hero Academia, Vigilantes, Chapter 105, Pest. And I think this chapter confirmed once and for all that All Might's not showing up anytime soon. He's not going to sweep in and save the day. He's not going to stop Six. And I think that should have been obvious for quite a while. I mean, first off, Six is Koichi's nemesis, his arch-villain. Koichi needs to be the one that stops him somehow, some way. But also, let's not forget that All Might has a time limit, a number of hours per day where he can be a hero. And while that's certainly more generous than, after he passed the power on to Deku, it's still rather, limiting for him. I mean, let's not forget, very first chapter of the series, All Might was out of hero hours by mid-afternoon by the time Deku left school, and All Might had to stop that sludge villain. That was it. That was him done for the day. And now, this chapter takes place quite late at night. All Might's having dinner, and after that, he'd go off and stop two other villains, Namahage attack up in North Akita, and a bunch of dancers whose purpose I do not understand at all, but the important part is All Might's fought a lot of villains today. He's tired, he's done, he probably can't be, a hero from all that much longer, so it might not even be possible for him to rush in and stop Six. And I really do think that's going to bother him. He's going to realize, if I was the true All Might, the true symbol piece, I would have gone to Naruhata. I would have gone to check on the detective, check on my friend. I would have completely skipped dinner just to make sure everyone was okay, but I'm not that man anymore. I'm not All Might. I'm not the symbol piece, and therefore, I need to find a successor. I need to find someone else take the mantle for me, and, maybe he will actually go to Naruhata once everything's already, settled and done, and he'll run to Eraserhead and realize, hey, Eraserhead is teaching at UA. Maybe I should do the same. Maybe I can go there and find the next student, find the next vessel for One for All. And I think it'd be a great way to end the series with All Might, being inspired by all this to go find a successor. It might actually, basically merge directly into the start of the series. Now we skip ahead a few weeks. All Might's out doing shopping thing. Wow, I'm going to start working at UA in a couple weeks. I wonder what kind of students I'll see. I wonder what kind of person I'll find. Maybe I'll find, the next vessel in my first class, or maybe I'll have to wait a while. And then he gets a call, the sludge villains attack, and he has to rush off, save a day, unaware that he is about to meet Deku, the true ultimate vessel for One for All. Oh, I love that. I absolutely freaking love that. But anyway, this chapter, we start off with Koichi taking a rather serious blow, or more accurately, 3 blows that combine bombify, detonation, and regeneration, which contained enough power to kill him 3 times over. So, yeah, that's bad. That's very, very bad. But as it turns out, Koichi's still alive! Yay! Seriously, what kind of twist would that have been if Koichi just died in that fight because he was, too afraid to kill Six? That would have been awkward. That would have been a very, very awkward death. But as it turns out, he was able to use sliding glide to basically disperse the blast, making a sort of almost shield for him that, spread the explosion outwards so it didn't hit him as hard. And then he leaped into the air backwards so that, his body wasn't giving any resistance to the attack and he didn't take as much damage. And what I find most fascinating about this, most amazing about this, is how utterly shocked Koichi is. I mean, seriously, he's looking at his hands like, what did I just do? Seriously, Koichi, are you Jason Bourne? Are you American Ultra? Were you some sort of secret agent in the past who's lost his memories, who's forgotten what it can do? Because this goes beyond just good instincts. Every time he makes a move that should kill him, but then his quirk steps in and he acts in just the right way, just the right movements to make sure that he survives the blows. I mean, he even says, sometimes it's like my body moves without thinking. And we see, flashbacks to when that happened. When he saved the detective sister, when he saved Pop, when he saved Captain Celebrity, when he saved Aizawa. He should have died basically every one of those times. I mean, when he saved the detective's sister, he didn't even know he could do the double jump, but he did. He flew into the air unaware that he could do that. He just leaped out to save her, and it worked. Rather similar with Pop, we didn't know he could fly quite so well as he did when that happened. Aizawa, he didn't know his blast, his Shurigo Blam Bams were strong as they were, so we had no reason to think that would actually stop the villain. And with Captain Celebrity, he would have died. He seriously leaped down to save Captain Celebrity, but, he would have fallen to his death if All Might hadn't shown up. It's almost like Koichi's body is aware of exactly what it can do, exactly what the quirk is capable of doing, and has, real experience with it, but his mind just doesn't know it. His mind just doesn't aware of how it works, how this happened, how he's able to do all these things. So, yeah, it's weird. It's really, really weird. Though I guess this is all just, meant to go back to All Might's big speech to Deku in the very first chapter of the series. True heroes, from a young age, their bodies acted before they could say anything, before they could think. They just rushed in to save the day, and that's what Koichi's done time and time and time again, and it keeps working for him. It just keeps working for him, and he keeps not dying by some miracle, by some grace of God. Seriously, I would not be all that surprised if it turns out he is some sort of super soldier secret agent who had his memories wiped, because that's the only way to explain how he keeps not dying. And Six is far, far angrier about this than I am, calling it a cheat code, which, fair enough, Six, fair enough. Koichi just keeps pulling out upgrade after upgrade after upgrade, finding new ways to use abilities mid-battle. He's just becoming more and more OP. Seriously, if Koichi could have done all of this back when he first tried to enroll in hero school, they would have made him the #1 student. They would have made him, valedictorian, because that's just how freaking overpowered he is, how useful his abilities really are when he's going all out. Oh my god, just imagine Bakugo having Koichi's powers. Oh, that'd be terrifying. It'd be so overwhelmingly terrifying. I'm pretty sure he could still beat Deku in a fight. Yeah, seriously, I think if Bakugo had Koichi's powers, he could be a match for Deku, even with One for All. Oh, that's a fun thought. That's a very, very fun thought. And then once again, we have this weird thing where even though Six is just seething with hatred and anger and bloodlust, O'Clock behind him, the spirit behind him, his alternate personality behind him, is just overwhelmingly calm and rational, and I know I've said this before in the last 3-4 videos, but I really don't think this is just an alternate personality. It just feels too divergent from Six himself to actually be any part of himself. I don't know, I'm just really weirded out by that. But anyway, O'Clock's advice basically, hey, listen up, Koichi is super well guarded right now, so maybe don't fight him right now. And he says a lot of interesting things. I mean, first off, he says Koichi can fly, which I guess he can. I mean, up to this point, I've been considering it more of an infinite double jump, but no, it's definitely flight. It's basically flight at this point, so good for you, Koichi. You can freaking fly. Very few people in this series can fly. He has better maneuverability than Six. Obviously he does. I mean, he can turn a freaking dime. He can go in the air. He is much, much maneuverable than Six is. But his next comment about how the crawler's speed is on par with Six's, that weirded me out. That definitely weirded me out. I mean, I think what he's trying to say is that, his speed is on par with Six's default speed. It's on par with Six when he's not using overclock, which does make a lot of sense. I mean, in order to use overclock, Six needs to basically, calm his mind, calm his breathing, and take in a lot of oxygen. So when he's not using that, he's at the same speed as Koichi is. And given how overwhelmingly angry he is by in this chapter, I don't really think he's going to be able to use overclock to its fullest capabilities. But overall, O'Clock is definitely right. Fighting against Koichi right now is just a really, really bad idea for a whole bunch of reasons. I mean, for one thing, this fight is drawn out. Koichi is great at dodging and evading and even apparently deflecting his opponent's blows right now, and as he says, running away is my forte. All he needs to do is buy time at this point. Buy time for the others to show up and save the day. I mean, it's not like Six actually needs to fight Koichi. It's not like Six actually needs to kill Koichi. Koichi doesn't really have all that many powerful blows. Even if he did, he's not really willing to use them on a human opponent, so all Six really needs to do is turn around, run right back to the hospital, through the hallways, find Pop's room, and kill her, and then run away. And then he can come back another day to come kill Koichi, but he's just so blinded by his anger, he's going to keep swinging, keep striking at Koichi again and again and again, and that is exactly what Koichi wants. All the focus is directly pointed at him, so much so that he completely stopped piloting the Protonomu, and Midnight was able to put them to sleep, allowing the detective and the cops to now leave the hospital and provide Koichi backup in his fight against Six. Same with Soga, he was able to escape from the Protonomu, and now he's able to go give backup to Koichi. Though he's wondering if Koichi made his escape yet, which is interesting. I mean, he assumed, he saw Koichi fly through the air, so he's assuming that Koichi, left Naruhata to get backup, or is there something else in mind here? Is there some sort of, bigger weapon that Soga's planning on using against Six that requires, Koichi to leave the area, like some sort of missile or rocket or something he's going to fire right at Six? I mean, that'd be interesting. That'd definitely be interesting. And Soga's friends are also there. I mean, they saw Koichi take a rather serious blow, and, maybe they want to help. Maybe they want to provide some backup somehow, some way. Plus, there's all the pro heroes, out in Naruhata who are fighting the Protonomu. If Six really is completely focused on Koichi right now, they would have stopped as well, meaning they can easily, take down the Protonomu, easily detain all of them, and then rush to the hospital where obviously, the villain's target really is, and come in and help save the day. Koichi doesn't actually need to win this fight. All he needs to do is just, keep dodging, keep deflecting, keep running away until either help arrives or Six runs out of energy. I mean, seriously, Six has blown up his hand a whole bunch of times, like at least 9 times in this fight, plus he melted himself and then reformulated himself after he was captured by the detective. He must be running low in energy at some point. He must be running out of, I don't know, calories or whatever it is that is fueling him, and sooner or later he's not going to be able to speed up. Sooner or later he's not going to be able to regenerate. And at that point, even Koichi could win this fight, take him down or injure him enough where the detective is able to show up and put him in handcuffs or, you know, a full suit, something that he isn't able to wiggle his way out of anymore. I mean, actually, now I think about, seriously, what's going to happen to Six? I don't actually feel like he can, you know, survive this arc because he is too freaking dangerous to detain. There's no real prison in the world. Even Tartarus would have a hard time dealing with someone who can melt himself. Plus, there's the fact that he knows way too much about All for One and, you know, the Nomu, everything about that. So, yeah, I really don't think he could be detained. I mean, maybe we're going to have All for One show up, or one of All for One's assassins show up and kill him, put him down before he can be taken to police custody. I mean, this might sound insane, but Six can change his appearance. So what if Six has been in the main series the entire time? What if Six is the detective? What if at the end of this fight, Six fakes his own death and then goes out and murders the detective and takes his identity? I mean, that would explain a lot. The big mystery that's been going on since very long time ago in this series is the UA traitor. Who at UA is leaking information to the villains, to All for One and all that? And I mean, the detective isn't part of UA, but All Might trusts him 100%. All Might's let him in on all his secrets, and if it was actually Six in disguise passing the information on to All for One, that would explain so much about how All for One is always one step ahead of everyone else, because he literally has a man on the inside. I'm not sure about that. I'm really not. I mean, that is definitely like an insane theory, like way out there, but I don't know. Maybe it could be the case. It just really does feel like something's gonna happen to Six. Either he's actually gonna die, or he's gonna have to fake his death and disguise himself as someone else, because he just seems way too dangerous to be taken to custody, and, you know, it's been shown time and time again that Koichi is not willing to kill him. Koichi is not willing to kill another human being, even someone as monstrous and awful as Six, so I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about that. But anything else down below. Do you think All Might's going to show up at some point? I mean, I think it's going to be like in the flashback where he shows up, you know, a step too late after Six has been defeated or runs away or whatever. When's Pop going to wake up? I mean, she's been in a coma for a while now. And, you know, when this is all said and done, what exactly is going to happen to Koichi? I mean, I said in my last video, maybe the cops just, you know, let another cover-up happen and say, oh no, this guy over here, Six, he's actually the real crawler, and this guy we were saying that was the crawler, Koichi, oh, that was just a case of mistaken identity because they look so much alike. I mean, who'd have thunk it? Sorry, Koichi, you're in the clear. Go live off your life without being a vigilante anymore. That would make a certain amount of sense, but I don't know. I'm not really not sure anymore. Really, what do you think's gonna happen, and how many more chapters do you think this series is gonna have? Because I assume like 5-10 more chapters to finish up this fight, the epilogue, all that, but this fight is going rather slowly. I mean, all that really happened this chapter was Koichi found out he can make basically a defensive shield to block Six's attacks, which, you know, could have been explained in a single page, but it was an entire chapter, quite a lot of which was All Might just trying to have dinner and getting interrupted time and time again, so I don't know, I really don't know. But anything else down below, be sure to like, subscribe to the next video, and until then, peace!